nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't.
Hey guys, we are back again for another video. And my energy is good. Now, if y'all watch my last video, y'all would know what I'm talking about. But folks got a lot of nerves here. Take your money, schedule an appointment for you. They're late. Tell you they're gonna be 15 minutes late. Don't come. But if you ask them, like, when are you coming? Now your energy is bad. These young people need to get their whole entire life together. They don't know shit, ain't gonna never know shit, and eventually we just gonna start doing different shit with our hair, because at this point I'm over these hoes. Okay, I'm over it over it now. My rant is over. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button. And also make sure y'all like the video. If y'all don't know what that is, y'all don't know the little thumb thing right there, it's like this. All you got to do is hit it. It helps the video, okay? Just go ahead and hit it. Now, y'all, I'm just going to give y'all the tea, okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you from which I got the information from, but you just have to wait for it to come out, okay? But you see it on the screen, and from the information that I have, it doesn't look like Lateasha or Dr. G will be coming back to Married to Medicine. And I don't know what y'all thoughts are in terms of this. I'm not really surprised by it, because if y'all was following any of my videos, I told you all that this was exactly what they were doing. But, you know, I don't know if y'all was paying attention. You know, in a few videos over, I told y'all that, you know, they were getting the contracts and things of that nature. But these two did not get renewed. Now, in terms of what happened, do we need to even talk about what happened? We all watched the same show. I mean, they pretty much put Lateasha and even her husband on the island by themselves. So therefore, it was very hard for us to watch the show, because we saw them being really treated bad. And in all honesty, I really try to look at these shows from another perspective. And even mentally, when I try to look at it, the only thing that I can come up with, which is consistent with everybody on the show, when you're new to the show, you really don't know how to maneuver. But that is not for just them, but not really Dr. G, because he's been on the show. Lateasha is new, so there's things that she would have learned, but it would have been the same for everyone. So in terms of trying to understand why, you know, they were not renewed, the only logical answer that I can come up with is simply the logical thing that we have saw since we've been watching this show. We're dealing with a bunch of mean, nasty people. Now, I get it. Their job is to make good reality. Now, I feel like they can make good reality without being so dark and nasty and dirty. Because if you watch this show, and your brain work, you know this. You know that Dr. Jackie is filthy and nasty. No matter how she try to act, if you don't know that that old woman is bitter, go get checked out, okay? If you watch this show and you don't know that Dr. Heavenly has some serious lying problems, some serious mental health problems, and it seems like she has some serious childhood problems that has spilled over into her adulthood. Now, if you don't know that, I don't know what to tell you. Now, if you don't know that quadwebb wants to be the center of attention, if you have not figured out that she is a person that is only concerned about herself and that every damn thing is about her, I don't know what show you have been watching. Now we have Simone. One good thing I can say about Simone is in some instances, she will make up her own mind and do things that she feel like the group may not accept. So, that's kind of how Simone is, but they won't be coming back. So they are not going to be, on this show for the next season. And I kind of been alluding to it for some time just to see, how y'all were going to deal with it. Now, again, I'm not going to, I can't confirm any sources, but I can say that they really wanted to stay on the show and that they more than likely thought that maybe they would be renewed. But again, when you're on the show, I believe you have a different perspective than people who are not on the show. Because when I watch it from my perspective and not being on the show, I look and see different. So from my perspective, I wasn't shocked that they were not renewed, but I was a little surprised. And let me just tell you why. Because it almost seemed like at the reunion, they wanted them all to reconcile, but to have them to reconcile and know that you are not bringing these two back, for what reason do they need to reconcile? So the reason is they're saying that they decided to go a different route. Now, is that always what they say? When they decide not to bring people back, I don't know. But I can tell you that, they wanted to stay. Now, y'all probably like, well, how you know? I can't tell you that, but they're not going to be on this show for the upcoming season. And I can tell y'all that. Now, what we did learn, from watching the reunion is Quad said that she didn't know if she would be comfortable with them coming back. And I know some of y'all may say, so did they choose Quad? I don't know. I don't believe that Quad has a lot of pull on this show herself. If y'all recall, she was just kicked off herself. But I do believe because they all ganged up against them, that definitely had something to do with it. I think that had a lot to do with it, because y'all got to understand that these people advocate for each other and they, in a sense, have each other back. Now, if everybody pretty much on the show is against you, how are you going to come back? And I talked about this before. We saw this in the situation between Phaedra and Candy. Phaedra did not come back on the show simply because nobody wanted to film with her. What do y'all think has happened between Dr. G and Sweet Tea when they put Dr. G in a separate room? He can't be around the men, all of that. And then Sweet Tea and Dr. G not being invited to events. What do you think is happening? So did they choose Quad and her man that, stole a car? What's really going on? So, and I also think, y'all, that with these reality shows, they don't give a F-U-C-K about these people. Wherever they can get a story and a storyline, I feel like they're going to run with it. What y'all must understand is that they have a special group of people that are willing to do anything to maintain this show being on air. If y'all have watched this show for any amount of time, please let me know in the chat. When was the last time you heard something about Dr. Jackie's life? And then put something in the chat. when you heard about something about Dr. Heavenly's life. And I'm saying them really talking about their life, showing us different aspects of their life on this show. When Quad's entire storyline was absolutely nothing. It was centered around these two. If you paid attention, Dr. Heavenly's storyline was still centered around some issue that she has with Sweet Tea that she still ain't told us about because it don't make no damn sense. So where is these people's storylines? They bring people on this show. You never see them again. And I believe that is the dynamic that they have come up with to keep this story going on. If you guys think about it, if you go back in time, Anila was on the show. They used her after it was done. She's no longer here. But the crazy part, y'all, is you would actually see Anila. She still actually comes to events. A lot of times they just don't film her. But look at the past people. Audra was there. Used her, didn't work. She's not there. So I believe this is a consistent pattern that they have come up with, because I'm asking you all to tell me, when was the last time any of these women had a storyline? Quad going back and forth with Sweet Tea and Dr. G, to me, is not a storyline. For one, the relationship that Dr. G has with Sweet Tea did not cross over. When Dr. G and Quad was divorced, that is when he met Sweet Tea, probably years later. So there's no crossover. Quad even admitted she doesn't have a problem with Sweet Tea. This was all for a storyline to continually get into it with her, and then to constantly talk about an old ass marriage, talking about what somebody did to you when you ain't with them no more. You are responsible for your own mental health. So you need to go get counseling and you need to fix yourself. You cannot continue to blame somebody for your mental health and you're not even with this person anymore. So there it is, y'all. They will not be on this show. Now, I know y'all gonna ask, like, who else? Like, who else is not coming back to Married to Medicine? I don't know right now, but I know that Sweet Tea and Dr. G won't be on the show. And the interesting part of this, y'all, too, is Quad. Now, with regards to her car, no, I can't say that. I don't know. I don't want to say that. So I don't know what's the deal with her car, but the fact of the matter is, Quad brought a man on this show that had been going through a civil matter with a car that they said that he stole. And the judge said the only difference in a thief and what they did, the difference was they just rented it. So even the judge called them thieves. Okay. So Quad never mentioned anything about it. So you have to wonder, why would Quad be allowed to be on the show that she's not even married to medicine and she lying about a storyline? Ask yourself about Dr. Heavenly. Why is Dr. Heavenly allowed to consistently show up on this show and tell us nothing about her life? Because everybody got something going on in their life. Even if you don't have nothing going on at this present moment, you got some stories that you can tell us. So the fact that she has none and is always in everybody else's business, that should kind of tell y'all how the makeup of this how the makeup of this show is. These women on this show are going to be on here by any means necessary, even if it means to bring people on and consistently drag them. Because if you guys pay attention to the pattern, that is what has happened. Now they got two new fools, Dr. Mimi and Steve. And I really sincerely believe that they will be the next targets, because if y'all look back at history, this is what they do to everybody that comes on this show. This is what they do to everybody. So I know y'all been wondering about it. I know y'all probably gonna ask T, or whatever, but that's it. I can't really say too much more because I don't really tell about, when people tell me stuff, obviously, if somebody should speak about it, then I'll talk about it. But I don't reveal my sources, but they will not be on this show, for the next upcoming season. And y'all got to let me know what y'all think, with regards to that. How do you feel? Will you be watching Married to Medicine? Let me kind of tell y'all how I feel about this. With regards to these shows, there are a lot of shows that I watch that y'all will never hear me talk about. And it's simply because either I don't think y'all want to hear about the show, or I've done videos about it and maybe people didn't watch it. So I only talk about the shows that my audience watches. So will I watch Married to Medicine? Only if y'all watch it. So if y'all not watching it, guess what? I may watch it, but I will not talk about it, if that makes sense. So y'all got to let me know, where are you guys with the show? And in all honesty, it's highly toxic. I prefer not, because in the manner that it's going, it just doesn't, it don't do shit for me. When you get to a certain age, some of these shows is just like, it don't, I'm just being honest, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm kind of past shows like this where they consistently and constantly drag people. Now I'm down for a good kiki and a good drag here and there, but to constantly drag the same person over and over again is not, it's not fun to watch. So y'all let me know what y'all think, in the comments with regards to, this situation, and will y'all be watching it, and what do y'all think? And also, what do y'all think and feel about Bravo? Now, we can say, that Bravo does this to Black people. Now, I have to disagree, because I feel like they do it to themselves, because I feel like when you are the talent, you have a voice and you can stand up. But because they are consistently dragging these two, now they won't be on the show, but again, we saw this as a pattern. So I feel like the network does bear some responsibility, but I also, feel as the talent that you have an obligation to make sure that you are being portrayed, how you want to look. So I just feel like, with regards to, if this solely been on the network, I have to disagree. But again, y'all let me know, what y'all think in the comments. Are you going to continue to watch this show? Let me know y'all thoughts.